All right, let's go through some more of the tactics. I think we left off at discovered attacks, so let's go through double checks. I did some of these the other day, and some of the puzzles are difficult, so it may take me a while to get through these. But the essence of the double check is when the king is being checked twice, the king has to move. So I think this just leads to mate. This is actually just setting up the previous position by sacking the queen. It's making me click go to next. Checkmate the opponent in 3 moves. So I think this is another queen sack, check, double check, and then the rook comes in to deliver mate. So I think this one's going to be somewhere in here. This pawn is going to promote with check or checkmate potentially. So this square is covered. Check. Rook takes. And then I think we remove the bishop with double check. So check, something takes. Check, guarded by the rook. Something else takes. Then double check this way. Now double check. Yep. And the king can't escape. This is actually mate, right? Yep. Bishop here cuts the king off. Good one. This one I struggled with mightily. So there's obviously a double check here, but then there's like 4 follow-up moves you have to calculate that lead to mate, and the king is like here somehow. So I think it's this, no, this. Now it's queen or rook here. I think rook. Then pawn. Then we take here because this is cut off. Yeah, the mating net there is a little hard to see concretely. So check here. If the king goes here, then Then what? Maybe it's rook takes. It's not coming with check. Takes. King here. Oh, then the bishop is coming in, check. And the king is cut off. So that leads to mate. So the king can't go here. The king has to run into the check. And I think that leads to this being mate. Well, then something has to block. We're just winning that something. So king here then. So check, check, king here. Looking to escape. Oh, we can't let him get back here. So then I think this check happens. That's double check. The king has to move up. Then do we return? Check, block, mate. Okay, I think there, that's forced. Now here, double check, that prevents the king running back. Then here is just mate, because you have this bishop is cutting off, this bishop's coming up, cutting off. The knight blocks, but then we just take. Well, we take, then the king gets to run. I guess we won a knight and a rook for that, and this pawn is still a problem. It's pretty much winning. All right, double checks we covered. Overloaded pieces. So this one, right? Take here, take. Then we get the knight for free. So 2 pieces for the rook is usually acceptable. So you have a piece against nothing. I think this, because we're either winning a piece. Actually, knight can't take because we have mate. And we're attacking both rooks. We really can't, still can't take, but I guess that's the exercise. Take. Oh. Well, you would queen here, of course. So now you have 2 queens, so you'll be able to save one on the next move. This one I remember. So we really just need to sneak our king in somehow because the king can't go anywhere. These squares are covered. All these squares are covered, and the light squares are blocked by their own pieces. This piece is terrible, right? So this is basically a bad versus a good bishop endgame where the pawns are even. And what you need to notice, I guess, is probably like these dark squares are key. So if you can queen on the dark squares, there's nothing the bishop can do about it. So what I saw was this move, because if pawn takes, then we get a run with these pawns. And if pawn doesn't take, then we just take with the bishop. And we're either going to win like all these pawns and promote, or if bishop takes, pawn takes, we push and there's no way to stop the pawn. So they're going to let us take here, and then I think we just take here. And now we can just sneak in, I think. Yep. So this one, right, like the queen defends the back rank and also this bishop. So I think we take here. If the queen takes, then it's just leading to mate. This rook is cutting off from helping with the defense. So I think it's just this. And here we just take. And yeah, looks like we got it. So the king defends here, so I think probably take, and then if king takes, we can take here. This comes with check, so that's important. And we're just winning more stuff. Give me the stuff! I like the stuff. This one I really struggled with. There's a lot of juicy things going on here because we're sort of x-raying this guy. So you want to think like this, but then I think we take here, and the knight defends, the queen also defends, so we're not really winning anything. But I think it's something like this, take. No. Queen takes, rook takes, take, check, king here. Check, block. These are hard. I want to hint. I think it is this. And then check, and then yeah, we're basically getting both rooks for the queen. He's pawn promoting, so the rook is just placed in a great spot. Yeah, I'm just gonna have rook against king. This one I also struggled with for like a super long time. There's just so many like possible first moves maybe that lead to something. So I don't remember exactly. I think it was take and then a knight move. Take and then check here maybe. Take. Can't leave the back rank because this is mate. Rook is under attack.
Liftoff of mission 41B, the first flight of the orbital Discovery, and the shuttle has cleared the tower. Discovery's core computers now have primary control of critical vehicle functions.
This one is just real tough. So what is the idea behind that one? There's some like mating idea, I think. So take. What about take? Oh, we're threatening mate here now. Okay, so the mate threat is the thing you have to see. So this pawn is overloaded. So you're giving up the rook so that you can get the knight in, threaten mate here. The rook has to go back and then you win the bishop. Okay, yeah, that's a pretty tough tactic to see. I think this, right? There's no check this way. So takes, takes, takes. I don't like how my king is all open here. Ah, no, it's takes here, because then if knight takes, we have this leads to mate. So we just need to remove the knight, and this check is covered by the rook. So yeah, I think it's this. And the machine will just give up material. So we end up a piece there. So probably something with the pawn promoting. Check, check. King is overloaded, I think, is what the key to this is. Now what's the cleanest way? Does it matter? This is more forceful, I think, because the king is already cut off. Yep. And we're winning like the rook here or something. Yeah, it's all falling apart. Okay, Zwischenzug. In between moves. These are also pretty hard. There's only 5 of them though. So Zwischenzug from German, Intermezzo from Italian, so it's an intermediate move. So instead of playing the expected move, often a recapture, plays another move that makes an intermediate threat that the opponent must answer before playing the original expected move. So this is how you can sometimes get an advantage. So I think this one we threaten the fork, which then lets us come in with this check. Do we just take them? Okay. I'm not seeing why that's giving us a huge advantage. Let's ask the computer. So rook takes is good for white, but knight d5. So that threatens this. King up. And then rook takes, or yeah, rook takes is good. I mean, the computer knows this is better. It's not really apparent to me why it's so good. Zwishen check. A Zwischenzug is also a check. It's called a Zwischenschach. I don't know how to say these German words. Zwischencheck, or simply an in-between check. Instead of recapturing with queen takes b4 immediately, find the Zwischenschach check in this Samuel Rosenthal, Cecil Valentine de Vera game from 1867. So I think probably here forces the king to do something. The question is, what do we do about this? Oh, I think we probably take here first. So it prevents the king from castling, which, now that the king is out in the open, this becomes a very much better position, I think, for black. What was the last move played? Not showing us the... So we're down a rook. So I think this is pretty obvious. Do we want to get the king off first? If the rook moves, threatening mate after this, I think, is the big problem. No, and we're not threatening mate. Do we take here first? They have a check now. Check king here or here? No, king here. this sort of stuff is... Yeah. Then here. Oh, this one I remember. It's like, what? You offer the queen, right? If takes, we get this rook for free, and then we follow it by retaking the queen this way. So you're actually adding another attacker here, and we just get the queen now. This one's also pretty tough. These are hard. Like, I do remember this one too. I think it's here because if takes, then you get, no, you do get rook there. What do you get? So here attacks the rook, and if you take, I think you get the knight coming in, and this becomes basically undefendable. Again, this is just tough stuff. I don't get that one either. So the next best move, bishop takes. Only leads to like a 0.9 advantage. This move is plus 4.3. Bishop e2. Attack the rook. We take the rook. They take a rook. We take the bishop. Queen takes pawn. Bishop takes pawn. Yeah, you think there's some mating attack, but it's really just about getting material. All right, we're through the basic tactics. Those last discovered attacks I thought was fairly reasonable. These last 20 or so puzzles, double checks, overloaded pieces, and Zwischenzug, they're pretty tough. So we'll see what we do. We'll see what we do on the next section of intermediate tactics. I mean, these are good things to understand, definitely. But those puzzles are, I found those pretty hard. All right, see you guys later.